Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the day three of the RDPT Championship event. We're down to 24 players now, and today we're going to be finding our final eight. This is Akshay Kapoor, your commentator, and joining me today is none other than the best of the best, Mr. Richard Cooper, who will be calling out the action for today with me as we bring out some interesting hands, some interesting plays, some interesting strategies for you all today. How are we doing, Richard?
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Thank you, Akshay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another day of live coverage here at the RDPT Jeju Festival here in sunny, beautiful Jeju, South Korea. We saw some fireworks yesterday during the day two of this Red Dragon Championship. And if anything is guaranteed, it's more excitement today. Big names at the feature table: Joe Chong, Mr. Chen Chuan. Very, very familiar faces around this part. So sit back, relax, and as we like to say, get ready for some tip-top poker action.
An exciting day today here, Richard. Down to only 24 players now.
Yeah, 24 players is correct. Actually, last three tables, we are playing down to the final table today. We will then bag and tag and come back tomorrow to crown that champion. Of course, the champion walking away with a cool 174K in prize money, as well as the winner's jacket, and of course, the very revered winner's championship ring. So, all to play for up top. This prize pool sitting at a whopping 1.2 billion. So, record breaking numbers here, as always, for this beautiful trifecta Jeju Poker Series between RDPT, WPT, and KPC.
Well, definitely, Richard. And we do have some famous faces on our feature table today. We just saw Joseph Chong with a stack of 3.6 million, who has joined us on the feature table and has a very, very healthy stack.
Well, apparently, actually, Joe Chong found himself down to a couple of big blinds and apparently has managed to claw back. And as a matter of fact, is the chip leader going into day three. So sitting on a beautiful stack of, around about 3.6 million. So very, very nice work by the Poker Pro. So yeah, chip denominations on your screen. The brown are 5K and the blue are 25K. Blinds currently 20K and 40K, with the 40K ante active on the big blind each round. $100K in the middle before we even VPIP. And what do you think, Akshay? Ready for some side bets yet? Oh, there we go. We got the table sounds.
That's amazing to know. Alrighty, we do have some conversations happening on the table, I think. That's Chong on our screen. Very famous, very accomplished poker player. Very, very talented, to say the least. The blinds are 20,000, 40,000, and a 40,000 big blind ante to start the day with. Kang is one of the players that we saw in our yesterday's coverage here, Richard, and he was playing very solid, very, very conservative, and he was just taking the spots that that made sense, not going out of the line, as we see him raise with a6 of spades from early position.
And what do you think the three things Joseph Chong thinks about at the poker table are?
The three things he thinks about on a poker table. This is a tricky one. Probably what to have for lunch or like dinner, or depending on the time, obviously. What else is there? Um, like how wide he is he going to open and defend his big blinds? Like he can open a lot of hands from earlier positions, and how wide he wants to defend his big blind, especially when he have a massive edge on most of the player pool, I would say. And what what to do with the prize money? There we go. That's yeah. What do you think he thinks about?
I mean, I was going more in the way of Lil Wayne and his famous song, Money and Respect. I don't
Man,
know.
he's got both of it and a lot of it as well. respect and
Exactly.
money. Yeah. He was like, I was watching his podcast the other day, and he was talking about, like staking his friends and like staking his friends for like poker tournaments that did not end up really good. So he had to like cut them loose because they were causing him a lot of losses. He was like, why am I staking these players? Because I'm making so much money, and then every money that I make, these guys lose. So
Mm.
basically, he stopped taking all his friends. There we go, Ace Queen for Miss yeah, yeah. Interesting podcast that he's done. I think it's called Table One, or something like that. That he went on air with, and basically shared all parts of his, basically the
His
whole
journey.
poker journey that he's been on. Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's more
Sounds
about
great.
life journey than poker journey. Yeah, it's more about life journey than poker journey. So yeah,
Interesting. I must check it out.
very nice actually. That's like probably the first time I saw him, and then when I basically googled his name, he's been like playing poker for almost, I think, more than 15 years now. So
Oh, wow.
like yeah, he's like everywhere, like YouTube, Google. You Google him, you'll find him everywhere. Like he has interviews, and then he's basically talking about strategy. There's so many videos of him, talking good things about poker, and also making people aware of what poker is, and what we see and what we don't see, basically.
Interesting.
So yeah.
And we will be getting you those table sounds very shortly, folks. Please just hang in there. Here we go. Ask and you shall receive. Mr. Long, thank you very much if you are listening. Raise and take it for Mr. Zhou from the hijack. Big blind Mr. Gao not choosing to defend his raggedy king. And it's quite funny, actually. We get to see the players' full names included with their middle names. And sometimes we probably call them by their middle names. And it would be funny to meet them in person and just, give them their full entire name. Like, hello, Joseph Sanyong Chong. He'd be very surprised.
He's like, wait, even my friends don't know that that part of me. How do you know that?
Exactly.
There we go. Ace nine of spades, for Mr. G. So he's probably going to take it upstairs and raise it. Oh wow, Richard, we see ace nine of spades being folded from +1 position. Quite surprising, no?
Suited, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you think Joseph might be the reason that he chose to fold his suited ace, especially a solid ace nine of spades? Because Joseph is definitely sitting on the button, and we can see how wide he is on the button. Like he's opening 10-8 off with his massive stack, especially when the big blind is playing like about sub 15 bigs. So, do you think Jay Chong has something to do with ace nine being folded there?
I don't know what that strategy is because then what are you opening? Are you going ace 10 then? I understand that, but like ace 9 suited, ace 10 suited, they play very similarly. Similarly. I can't say the word. They play very
It's all
similar.
right. It's all right. It happens. Yeah. These are like the tongue twister words, so it happens.
I mean, as a native
Um,
English speaker, I've never been able to say that word.
it's all right. It's all right. There's probably 50% of the words I butcher, but it's all right. I mean, as long as people can understand me. That's
I
fine.
mean, anything's excusable
So,
in the Indian accent. I think it's such a sincere accent.
well, most of my friends don't say that I have an Indian accent. They say I have a different sort of accent. Why am I not speaking in my accent? And this just comes natural to me. I'm not sure which accent is this. Like I don't practice this. It's just something that is coming out. Probably it is something mix of both. You know, like Australian accent and Indian accent, which is what I
It
like to
is
believe.
definitely. Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely very neutral. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. King Queen Deuce giving top pair for Mr. Dong and nothing. Nada for J Chong with 8-7 of hearts.
Well, we actually haven't seen many post-flop battles as of yet. Actually, it's pretty much raise and take it, see bet, take it down. There's been no real action so far. Maybe just warming up.
Probably, but J Chong has to be really careful. Like he's calling with the suited connectors versus somebody who's just playing 20 bigs, and you want to be really careful. Especially like see 8-7 is not probably going to flop good top pairs or like good middle pairs, and you don't want to be in a position where you have to like where you're in a position where you have to call with your second pairs or top pair, and you're still not sure if that is good enough. Probably something I would have loved to see a 3-bet there with 8-7 of hearts rather than just a few.
Yep.
Because see, there are only 23 players left. We've already lost one player, and there's massive ICM pressure on all these players, especially the stacks who are playing like less than 1.2 million. So you want to play more aggressively. Like if you want to play those suited connectors, I would love to see some 3-bet maybe. Probably calling is the last option that I'm picking. So I would probably go for like a 3-bet myself, then fold and then call. So yeah. I'm pretty sure calling and folding EV would be very similar with 8-7 of hearts, considering of the ICM implications that we have. Did you hear that casino sound today as well, huh?
I do.
Can you hear it?
It's making me itch.
I was about to say that they were trying to get you to play slots. Seems so very calculated.
Well, there we go.
Which
There
true.
is the dual action camera from Mr. Chris Lebroho. Shout out to our media team backstage for these angles. We got Mr. G versus Mr. Chen. It's the ace-9 in the big blind getting 3-bet. And Mr. Chen, a little bit out of line, some would say, with that jack-8 open. Not playing a massive stack, so needs to not take too many thin spots as he did here.
Really interesting 3-bet there from the big blind with ace-9 off, especially when there's an open from early position at that stack depth. Like he's playing about 20-25 big blinds, and just finding that amazing ace-9 off 3-bet is just so good to see. It also kind of prepares you for the day as well. Yeah, it also like kind of prepares you for the day and what you can expect from different kind of players. Like we're seeing one player folding ace-9 suited from +1 position, and then there's on the other end there's a player who's 3-betting ace-9 off versus an open. So it basically tells you so much about the players, like who's going and playing fearlessly and who's more on the cautious side. So yeah. That was very active that we saw in yesterday's coverage. Like he was opening hands like 8-3 off from the button. So he's going to be probably very aggressive, as we see him opening pocket fours from under the gun, playing 1.1 million. You generally want to like open hands like pocket sixes plus here, and then you want to have like some of the ace x and the king x. Like basically what happens when you are playing sub 25 big blind, especially from under the gun, you basically open a similar kind of a range, like so let's say 18%, 20%, but then that 18-20% doesn't consist of these small pocket pairs. Basically it goes with hands like king 8 suited, king 9 suited, queen 10, queen 9 suited. You want to open more like queen jack offs, king jack offs than pocket fours, because with your stack depth you're not really getting good price to to flop a set. You're gonna be out of position if you get called, and you're not gonna love most of the flops when you don't flop a set. So that is the reason when we're playing in a high ICM scenario, especially at like 20-25 big blind stack depth, we want to open more like blocker heavy cards. But we do see pocket fours, the chirpies, versus the pocket sevens, and there are like 3 overcards for both the players. King queen 9. This flop generally favors the pre-flop raiser, and we're gonna see a small bet. And it's gonna be interesting to see what Kang decides to do here with pocket sevens. He's looking at a king queen 9 board, and he's just facing like a bet of 1.2 big blinds. And for 1 big blind, you probably call sevens here. But knowing Kang, he's more on the conservative side, and he's gonna lay it down.
Well, you've got an interesting hoodie on, that's for sure.
Yeah, I just had a look at it. Is that Einstein or who is it on his?
I think it's
hoodie?
Einstein, but what is he doing?
Smiling when he looks at us. Or when we look at it. I don't know.
It looks like he's licking something.
Definitely not me.
Not me either. But it looks like it's, I don't know, maybe eating something. Or...
We'll have a better look of it, for sure. We've already lost 1 player today. This is just the start of the day, and losing 1 player, that was very, very quick. Maybe he was very short stacked, or maybe he got cooled. We shall never find out. As you move on to the next hand, I still can't pick what Einstein is doing on his hoodie, but regardless to that,
I missed it.
It's folded to the button. I was gonna hold his option, and now Zhao with king 5 of diamonds in the small blind, playing 1.2 million, 30 big blinds. You generally want to limp these hands, as you're going to be out of position, and the player is going to defend a lot in position as well. So he goes for a raise, goes for like only 2x. Interesting sizing here, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to raise, I'm probably raising like 3.5 big blinds, blind, with like king 5 suited.
Yeah, like
actually,
3.5.
Yeah, but king 5 suited plays pretty well post flop, out of position, so we can just limp and call to a raise.
The problem with 2x, Richard, is there's big blind antes now, right? So there is no like, every player is putting ante every hand. It's not like that. So the big blind player is actually putting more money in the pot. So he's more incentivized to, defend his big blind. So what happens when you make it 2x? So you're basically making it 2, right? There is already 2 big blind. There's already 2 big blind in the pot. So the big blind has to call 1 big blind to win 5 big blinds. Right, so you basically need 20% equity, and almost every hand in poker has 20% equity versus any hand. So like the worst you could have is basically like aces versus, let's say, 3 deuce off, right? You still have probably like 16-15%. You know what? So yeah, tell me if you know what will be the equity if you have, aces versus three deuce, what will be the equity of three deuce pre-flop?
Three deuce versus aces, probably 16%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just let me check before I announce it. So 13%, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm basically talking about, having the best hand versus literally having the worst hand, right?
The
So
worst
you're
hand, yeah.
having 13% equity. So just imagine any hand, any decent hand will have the right equity to defend the big blind if you make it 2x. That is the reason you don't make it 2x, because
Yeah.
sometimes you want to like make your opponent, fold some hands like um, 5-4 off, right? 5-4 off is a really, really strong hand, but it's going to have a decent equity, right? So you want to make him fold that hand. So things like that,
Absolutely.
like queen 4 off, jack 7, things like that. So
Well, it's like when you actually get down to looking at equities, that's when poker becomes very interesting. Because I was having this conversation with a guy the other day who was pretty new to poker, and I said to him like, "Okay, I have ace king, you have pocket deuces. Who has more equity? Who's more likely to win?" And he was like, "Oh, you have ace king, of course you are gonna win." And I was like, "No, go check the charts, and you'll actually see that deuces have more equity than ace king." Like I think it's 52% to 47, And so it's just interesting, it just shows you that, poker is very complex and it's not a linear game. You really have to be thinking from all angles at all times.
yeah, it's been classified as a strategic game, a mind game. In the last week, there was an announcement made by the Mind Game Association that operates throughout the world, that poker is not a skill game. It is more the mind game and the more skill-based game than anything else. It was announced by a global organization. As we see the chip
That's great.
counts on our feature table, 3.3 million for Jay Chong. Overwhelming chip leader on this feature table. So what did your friend say after you told him that go check out the charts, deuces have more equity? What did he say in reply?
It's funny, like he didn't believe me at first, and then like he went home, and then like he kept on sending me I think he sent me like 6 pictures of different equities. He's like, I never knew this. This is crazy. Like things like that, because like he really didn't realize how close equities were in most hands, and it's like a lot of hands that you would think have a lot more equity probably is actually different to what you think. So like spend a little time on Hold'em Manager and not Hold'em Manager, excuse me, Texas Hold'em Equity Calculator, and just run it a little bit, and you'll be very interested to see what happens.
All right, we do have a hand in play, Queen 10, limping from the small blind. I really, really like that option. And then King 3 checking back again, a pretty solid move. As we see an 8-7-6 all spade board. Nobody has a spade. We are playing Queen High versus King High, and turn ace. Doesn't change anything, but I believe Jay Chong is gonna take a stab at it. Try to bluff Queen High. This is really great here, Richard, because you want to start converting your Queen Highs and Jack Highs into a bluff rather than your King Highs. So, and that is the reason. Like when you bet your Queen Highs and Jack Highs, you basically make King Highs fold. So that is an amazing play there by Mr. Jay Chong, and showcasing his skills and the masterclass that he has on poker. It's funny we talk about equities in poker, because most of the bad beat stories when people share is basically, oh look, I received the bad beat, I had aces, and the other guy had jack 10 suited, and I lost to jack 10 suited. He doesn't know how to play poker and things like that, right? But I mean, if you actually put down the equity, you'll know that aces are not going to win it every single time. So when you start understanding poker in that sort, where you know that aces are not going to win 100% of times, they are gonna lose they're gonna lose, right? So then you basically start understanding, hey, look, this is part of the game. This is not a bad beat. I mean, you can call it a bad beat, but it's not actually a bad beat because aces are supposed to lose at some frequency, some percentage, right?
Hmm.
So if you start studying the game, you start understanding the real depth of the game, and basically you start training your brain. Like it can happen, and when your brain knows that, hey, something like this can happen, it's well prepared. It doesn't get affected in that way, and that is probably the biggest lesson I learned during my poker career, that hands, no matter how great they are on the flop, how great they are on pre-flop, they might lose, right? So I don't get disheartened after I received a bad beat, or after my hand gets cracked or things like that, because they are part of the game.
Yeah. Well, that was, I mean, I'm just remembering the conversation now. My friend sent me one thing. We were talking about aces versus ace king. And I was trying to explain to him that, okay, would you rather have three deuce O versus aces, or would you rather have ace king versus aces? And he's like, of course, ace king. And then when he went home and he sent them to me, it was like, what? I can't believe it. Like three deuce off has double the equity versus aces than ace king would have versus aces. And I mean, it's obvious to us, of course, because we play poker, every day and we're studying every day. But to somebody new to the game, I can understand how it's like quite eye-opening.
On this table, I'm number one.
You're absolutely right there, Richard. Ace king has about 6% equity, and three deuce have about 13% equity
Yeah,
versus aces.
that's it. I couldn't remember the exact amount, but that was exactly it.
Mhm.
It's just it's a fallacy because we believe, in our starting hands, like, oh wow, ace king, very strong, ace is very strong. But at the end of the day, the run out's gonna come, how it's gonna come, and three deuce can still flop very, very well versus the aces.
Yeah, definitely.
But folks, we
Alrighty,
aren't saying
GC.
that you should be jamming the three deuce off in any situation as if they were aces.
I mean, they have 13% equity, right? So you shouldn't.
You may as well run
You
it.
should wait. No. I'm saying you should wait for better equity hands.
I was like, oh well, 30%.
Not go
We'll
over
for
13.
it. Sounds good.
It depends depends how big of a gambler you are.
That's it.
So
13%
yeah.
is pretty much 100%.
Like with my track record of side betting, I should go with it. But if you have a better record than me, you shouldn't. So yeah. Bunch of king deuce being folded, and Chen picking up the same hand, different suits. What has been your biggest lesson in poker, or some lesson that you learned through poker, Richard?
I mean, that's quite a deep question, but just balance, you know, balance is so important in life. I'm a very naturally aggressive person, so, playing poker, aggression works well, but without balance, aggression is pretty much suicide.
You don't seem like an aggressive person, Richard. Are you saying you were an aggressive person, and now poker has changed that part of you?
Maybe aggressive is the wrong word. Not aggressive like angry,
Yeah.
more aggressive like
Okay.
hyped up, like high energy type individual, will always fight, for something, will argue, get into a debate, that sort of person. Like, take the challenge, and not back down. But in poker, it's not about not backing down. It's about being strategic,
对，会放也不见你，对，对。我让你不要冲动，冲动。
It's very different to hypertrophy training we do in the gym, right?
我冲动什么呀？
Yeah, definitely. You talk about weighing. I'm not sure how much.
晒一晒吧。
I've seen you at the gym. I watch your Facebook stories.
There we go. I was contemplating going to the gym last night after dinner, like around 12, 11, because by the time we get it done, it's almost like 8:30, and it's winter time in Delhi now, so we're touching about 15 degrees in the night. Then I was like, if I go to the gym right now, I'll be tired, and I probably can't sleep without having a shower. If I go to the gym late night, so that would just ruin all the sleeping that I need to do to prepare for today's live stream. So I had to skip it, but I shall make up for it today. Yeah. We have anytime fitness here, so yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
They're not too expensive either. I mean, I used to train like 12 or like 1 p.m. But then I used to feel like tired and sleepy because I don't take any of the creatine or like pre-workout right now, because I'm basically trying to cut on all the sugary component from my diet. So basically I was not taking any, and then I was like very, very sleepy in the afternoon. So then I decided to go like either after my grind, which is let's say 4 in the morning. So I'll probably finish my poker grind, let's say 3 in the night. Chill for like half an hour, 45 minutes, play a game or two, and then probably head to the gym at 4. That was really nice, and then I'll come home after the workout and sleep. So yeah.
It's it's like, I can't wait for you to come to Bangkok and we can, get you into a regimen. Creatine, number one, doesn't have any sugar, so you can definitely drink it. It's very nicely flavored as well, so it's like refreshing. And then the pre-workouts we use is coffee, espresso shots, so no sugar in that. And basically what you do is you just caffeinate yourself to a certain level where you've just got enough motivation to go to the gym, but you don't have all of the negative side effects of the caffeine. So that when you come back from the gym, you're able then to do whatever else you need to do while still having that endorphin rush. So I feel like playing poker after going to the gym is the most like plus EV thing to do, or GTO way to do it, because of that added adrenaline afterburn effect that you feel, once you've completed that session.
Interesting.
It's going to be great when you come over,
So-
buddy. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, definitely. We see pocket fours being jammed from the cutoff, open jamming fours, and the chirpies are gonna take it down pre-flop this time. So you're saying basically So you're basically saying creatine will not have any sugar, but it has a flavor to it. So how do they add flavor without adding sugar to it?
Sweetness.
Do you know that? I
So
don't know.
like, sweetness. So urethol.
Stevia, things like stevia or something.
Yeah, so but urethol is what they put in stevia, and it's a natural product derived from a leaf. So it's completely natural, and this is, I've been off sugar for 3.5 years now. And so I only use sweeteners and urethol, natural sugars, monk fruit, stuff like that. But basically, these supplements these days, they're all sugar-free, and they taste great. So it takes you away from the sodas, it takes you away from the juices, and you just find yourself consuming less sugar so much more easy, because you have these healthy options.
Nice. Now I can't wait to come to Thailand and train with you and become a better person. That is for sure. We are gonna see Mr. Jae Chong raise with King Queen off from under the gun, playing a stack of 3.3 million. Back to you guys with some poker action. Yeah, we discuss everything here on the live stream. We discuss about poker, the gym, life, and basically everything else.
I mean, I think they're
For
all
sure with
relatable
pocket
at the end of
eights.
the day.
Definitely. Like poker is like the center and epitome of all the things that we basically deal in life. I'm gonna hold that thought, Richard, because we have pocket eights in the big blind. The snowmans, as they call it, the Chinese aces. This is going in. This is all in situation for Chen. What do you reckon, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, 13 big blinds, you know. I don't know how else you want to play it. Especially versus the chip leader. But I mean, versus anybody.
Number 6 all
And what do you do here? If you're Jae Chong with King Queen off, the jam is coming from the big blind. He can have Ace King, Ace Queen, and you'll be like in a really rough shape.
Yeah. I mean, at least you're blocking Ace King, right? But at the end of the day, you're unblocked. I mean, you're also blocking a lot of his junk that he does this with. So
True.
I don't like King Queen calling off, to be honest. I think it's a race fold.
Yeah. Like I've never seen a junk being jammed from the big blind versus under the gun. Like never ever. It's always like a very strong hand.
Well, we saw 7-5 jam from the big blind the other day. 7-5-0.
Yeah, but it was the button or the cutoff open. 7-6 off. Yeah. Never against the UTG open. So yeah.
I mean, in the WPT festival we just called action on, they weren't showing any respect to the early position.
Any respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you remember that? That was like loose cannon. You know?
Just going at it, three-betting with junk hand after hand. Didn't matter what position they were three-betting from. Yeah, as long as you know the open was coming from under the gun, the players were just going hard at it. Yeah, I don't want to be an under the gun player. You know, if I ever go and play in Jeju landing casino, I'd rather be like a middle position, cut off hijack player. Yeah, no, never be under the gun player.
I just blindfold under the gun.
Well, King 9 being jammed, and this would definitely be looked up by Mr. Jae Chong. Blind on blind, King Jack too strong to fold, especially with the stack that he's playing. And he is really in a strong position. He's holding King Jack off. Literally know that he has his opponent where he wants him. King 9.
But I actually think like Joe Chong probably thinks Chen's a lot tighter than he is here. Like maybe thinking that he's not jamming with King 9.
I mean, it's a 13 big blind jam. Like even if he's jamming any ace-x, right, King Jack will make it. So yeah. And Jae Chong is going to be really happy to see King 9 off and not any raggy ace. I mean, King Jack, King 10 probably the cutoff there for 13 bigs there, Richard.
I just think Chen's representing quite a tight beat pip at this stage. So anyway, King 9 versus King Jack, and Mr. Chen finding what he needs on the flop. 9-6-5 takes the lead. He is still all in. Needs to dodge a jack. Oh my goodness! Add some ladies to that equation, and just like that, full double up for Mr. Chen, courtesy of the big stack of Joe Chong. Well, there we go, folks. We were just talking about equities. And I mean, let me try and look that one up because I actually don't know that one offhand. But I mean, King Jack versus King 9 is a lot closer than you would think. I mean, King 9 still has what, 25% against King Jack, and that's just one quarter.
10个大盲盲凶啊，
And
凶的一
that
塌糊涂
time it hit. Well, I spoke to the only female left in the field yesterday, actually, Mrs. Win, Nokha Win. And quite a funny story. Apparently, she had to change her flight back to her country because she made day 3. So she's all excited, and I think that must be the happiest expense you ever have is, you know, postponing a flight for an extra day.
Number 2, right?
Interesting. How do you know her? How did you like speak to her?
On Facebook.
Oh wow. Were you friends with her already?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was speaking about it a few days ago. I met her and her husband in Vietnam, both very, very nice people. And yeah, her husband I haven't seen playing here at all, so I don't know if she's there on her own or what the story is, but yeah, good for her. Very, very nice to see the Vietnamese flag being represented. I am a huge fan of Vietnam, of course.
抽烟去了，我烟瘾大，你俩一起去的，打饭后的，哦，然后打完等休息加个微信啊，跟你挺有缘分的感觉。
Well, blinds have gone up 25k, 50k. Are the new levels. 50k is the ante on the big blind, so 125k in the middle before we even choose to V-pip. Expensive poker being played at the moment. You can see it has tightened up a little bit here at the feature table. Only lost 2 players so far in the rest of the field as well. So long day of poker ahead, folks. Sit back, relax, get comfortable. And let's get ready to pick up some very cool tells here. There we go, Mr. Gao, blind, B blind, ace 10 suited, all in.
Mongolia. All in. Number 1.
Wow, Saran jamming all in, gonna go for it. And just like that, actually, we have another all in and call. Mr. Saran all in and at risk, domination, rotation.
遗憾。6
再来个圈就带了。
这太稳了，这个。
Jack, King 9.
有点这个趋势了。 1胜6。
Couple of chop outs
It'll be very
here.
difficult.
Force a run now.
Number 1 out.
Oh, and unfortunately too low. And just like that, we do say GG to Mongolia's number 1 all-time poker player, Mr.
中国
Saran.
人是吧？
Thank you for coming, sir. GG in 21st place.
跑起来了，板儿没跑起来，没收过炮。对，一收
这一收不就巨跑吗？10比比都是。
他一下都没收过炮，一收都巨跑。
对。
都得玩大开大合。
哎，这玩意还是要跑马，还是要看
这是个跑
马。
马的游戏是吧？
真的是，后面。
And what are you doing there? Are you going to make the call as the big blind?
Probably not. Probably not.
Thought so.
I like to put pressure rather than face pressure. So yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Number 3 for you.
Lately, I've been playing Cash, Richard, and it's a whole new, what do you call it? War zone. If you're playing Cash, and it's fun too. Like I used to play tournaments, and I used to sit to grind let's say from 8 p.m. and probably by 12, I was probably in for about let's say. How much would that be? Let's say $1,000, and there was no guarantee that I'm gonna ever recover that money. Because basically, when you start playing, right, you don't when you play tournaments, you don't know how much you're gonna make money and if you're gonna make money, right? But you're already in for that $1,000. And you have to sit there for 6-8 hours minimum for your grind if you're running deep. But in Cash, you basically can play for 2 hours, make about $1,000, and just take a break or some things like that. So I've been doing that for the last week, where I've been playing Cash for a couple of hours after we finish our commentary. I probably take a 2-hour break and then play Cash for 3-4 hours. So yeah, it's been fun. It's lovely that what kind of holdings I get to see in Indian Cash games is so much fun. Totally loving that part of the game as well. Yeah, just expanding my poker knowledge and poker skill and learning every day. I've probably studied the MPTs. Yeah, online. Yeah. You can't play live in India unless you're in Goa.
Okay.
So I've been studying at the MTTs for about four years now. So, and I've never learned Cash. So it's like a new war zone for me.
That is cool.
Well, down to 21, Richard. Losing them very quickly. Hand number 26. The blinds have increased. We're playing 25-50 with a 50k big blind. Sorry, with a 50k big blind ante. Yeah, Saran was heads up in the high roller event, no? I think he came.
I believe so.
I think he came second. They made a deal. Ooh, Jay Chong with the KK. King, right, as they say it in Vietnam. King. Raising it to 100k, just main open.
Well, it was funny yesterday. One of the players folded 10 deuce, and they said 210. Some player wanted to know what they had, and they were 210, and the player was 10-10, and their player was yes. The language barriers. I think it was Chinese speaking to Korean or something like that. So, quite funny.
你要大就玩 A 9，大就改弄，这影响后来中国人民都听懂了。
And so, actually, what's your general rule for when you win a poker tournament? What sort of percentages are you putting back into your bankroll? What sort of percentage are you spending and enjoying? Like, what is there a golden ratio? Do you think that poker players need to adhere to?
I don't think there's a set ratio that there is like a general guideline that it's just basically depending on people and especially the age that you are playing with. Probably when I'm playing, I would and this is probably something that I did not know when I started. So when I basically, let's say I was 21 and I'm playing poker, right? I want to basically have basically less of the investment and more to the bankroll, because I want to basically move up to the stakes, because that is actually where the money is when you are playing versus the VPI piece, right? That's how you're going to make a lot of money in poker. Well, I'm going to hold that thought, Richard, and I'm going to come back to it. We do have some action brewing here. King Jack suited being opened by Jay Chong, and Ace King off for our hijack player. And I'm going to come back to that, the ratio question. It's a very important one. And we see Kang move all in straight away for 30 big blinds. A bit of excessive jam here, Richard. We can 3-bet this maybe. 30 big blinds. Yeah.
I feel like they want to be doing a lot more inducing with the Ace King O, rather than shoving out of a potential pot.
But then if you make a 3-bet, then you're playing literally with the best player on the table.
True.
So, but I still think Ace King is just too strong to just rip there.
Yeah, min open I think achieves a lot more.
I mean, he can 3-bet, right? He can 3-bet to 5-6 PP and play in position. Or you might see some 4-bet, some funky 4-5 bets from Jay Chong with hands like King Jack.
Oh, was that a 3-bet rip?
Yeah, it was a 30 big blind 3-bet rip. Jay Chong opened under the gun and he just ripped Ace King off.
I mean, I think it's much of a muchness than if it's a rip versus Jay Chong. It's like you probably just want to run your equity there, But I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying.
Like when you rip it, you're basically making Ace Queen fold as well.
Exactly.
You're not giving. Like, I'm not sure if
everything folds. Yeah.
I mean, you basically will probably look why Ace Queen suited is also not in a great position. You'll probably basically be looking 10s plus. The opponent can easily fold 9s as well, because you're going to be jamming 8s plus, right? So it's probably 10s plus Ace King.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're talking about equities, their 10s have what, 51% versus Ace King, maybe more, 55%.
Yeah. Alrighty, 4 deuce suited going up against Ace 10. Talk about equity, having 33% versus a suited Ace, a strong one of that as well. Post flop we go, and it is the chirpy flop. 4-4-3, and he's gonna lead out here, and it's gonna be fireworks on this flop. As we see, there are 2 spades on the board. Oh wait, so it goes. It didn't go lead. Basically, it went check c-bet. My bad there. And do you raise here with your trips? Surely yes.
Yeah, for sure. You need a very draw heavy board. Super dynamic.
Yeah. And then what do you do if you have Ace 10 of spades? Well, I'm pretty sure I was probably going to jam this one, but I would have loved to see him call this one, play in position. Because he's never folding a 4.
Yeah.
If you rip, he might fold hand like 7-8 of spades. So just call. Keep all the inferior flush draws inside.
Yeah.
There we go.
Call and make
nice.
the flush.
I like it, Zao. I like it, Zao. Let's see if the turn brings out more fireworks. Zao looking for that spade, but not deuce of spades, because that is going to give A full house to Chen. Now Jack of Spades also not working for him.
Double flush draw on the board though. So he's probably got
85.
to
Chen has
go big.
1.3. I think he'll probably go like 40%, 40 to 50% mark, somewhere about like 400.
Yeah. I would definitely go like 50%. At least. Maybe 60 could be nice. But I mean, what's the difference between 40 and 60 there? It's not much. It's 160k, so it's 3 big blinds.
It's how much. It's how much you commit.
Yeah.
It's like you're basically when you go 60%, you're putting a big portion of your stack in.
Yeah, exactly. I like 40%.
Because let's say you have 5-6 of hearts here, right? You can put 40 and fold, but if you put 60, you have like priced into call.
No, you committed. Yeah.
Yeah. And 5-6 would play like this. Like if you have 5-6 of hearts, 5-6 of diamonds, they would play like this. 5-6, 7-8, 8-9. These sort of hands. 8-9 win definitely with clubs, not hearts and diamonds, but 5-6 all suits. 7-8 all suits. So yeah. And he's going to lay this one down, Richard. Wow, mad respect given by Zhao, and correctly so, because Chen did have 3 4s. Wow. You didn't see that
But I
coming.
mean, wow. I mean, you got 18% to hit your nut flush
咱就
there.
把小灯弄了，弄成正个样，弄这样正个样。
Be luck, we gotta take it.
And your ace eyes and 10 eyes might be good as well. Not ace eyes, like you can river a pair of 10 or ace,
Yeah, I mean, you've got 18% to hit the nut flush. You've got, what's that? Way more to, so it's 9 plus 3 and 3, so 6, 15, 30% to improve. I mean, I think we should be calling there. That's quite a high frequency.
Unless you give your opponent literally a 4, then you can maybe probably fold.
Yeah, well, what a soul read then by him, that's for sure. But Chen does get a lot of respect. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, Joe Chong had to think about that King Jack versus the King Nine shove, because Chen seems to play quite conservatively. So if he's jamming, risking his whole stack, you best know that he's not doing it lightly. No matter what GTO says, he's pretty much playing premiums. All in for the deuces. Maximum pressure from Joe Chong exerted from the big blind. Mr. Dong trying to raise up the button and just getting shut down.
加油，李老师。没有，传输刚下来。
Zhou is definitely going to see some resistance here. Chen looking down at the pocket nines on the button. 2.2 million behind. Playing the stack of Zhou, who only sees himself with around 19 bigs. 16 bigs, sorry.
我说只能用一次。
Chen just flats, which is interesting because it allows the blind to come in, and Gao comes along with the 4-3-0 actually. Interesting.
And flops a pair of 3, which can be a trouble because we have 9s for Chen, and you definitely bet out 9s here, right? Try to protect your hand, and I still think we have to probably call here with king queen. I mean, you have 2 overcards. No floating done here. He's too short to float with king queen maybe. Yeah, coming back to your coming back to your earlier question, Richard, about the portion of the percentage that I split after my winning. So basically, I don't consider my single win as a win, so I probably take it as a month win. So any investment, any withdrawals that I do is probably by the end of the month. And right now, like, see, I'm 29, so I'm basically what I'm basically trying to do is take out my monthly expenses. It could be 10% to 20%. It could be 10 to 20%.
双发面
A10黑桃。那你这个面。
So yeah, it could be 10 to 20% monthly, whatever my expenses are. These are my like fixed monthly expenses, and not something I go out and party. Those are like my variable expenses, which I don't like to take out. So I probably basically doing withdrawals for my expenses about 10 to 20%, and then right now I'm probably investing 20% into like I segregate into 2 parts, where one part being the aggressive investment approach, and the other one is the safe approach. So I'm splitting that 20 into 10, where the 10% of the money goes into the high risk portfolio, and the other half goes into a secure portfolio, and the rest basically stays in as my bankroll, because it's very important for me to build my bankroll, increase it day by day, so that at one day I can play all the tournaments that I want to. And I have big dreams about my poker career, so it's very important that I use my money very carefully.
Absolutely. And so you were saying
earlier,
the real money is made at the bigger stakes, so just elaborate on
yeah
that.
Just so for example, like, imagine you're playing, let's say, $5 $10 game, right? And by the end of the month you are, let's say how many 100 big blinds up, right? How much money have you made?
Yeah, not a lot. What's that? $10,000.
Yeah, right. That's 1,000 blinds, which is impossible to win in a month, right? So on a basically 5-10, even with a win rate of, like, let's say 8 big blinds per 100 hands, right? How much money are you gonna make? 5-10. You're probably gonna make 8 BB by when you play 100 hands, right? So let's say you play about how many hands can you play in a month? Maybe close to 10K.
Yep.
Right. So you're basically making $800, right? If you win, if I'm accurate, right? Yeah. I think it's $800, right? And $800 is not much, right?
No.
Now, compare now from let's say 510, you move and you play to 50, 100. All right, and now you make same. Your return on investment is basically the same, 800 big blinds. Now 800 big blinds is a lot of money, right? On 50, 100.
Yeah.
So you basically 800 into 100 is a lot of money.
And it's the same game.
Yeah. Same game, same return on investment. Nothing has changed. The only variable that has changed is basically the stakes that you're playing up. Let me put that into ChatGPT so that I can give exact answer to the people who are watching us. Like I want to be accurate when I give these answers.
Yeah, exactly. I must be. Mr. Jin raising up the A7 suited on the early position. Joe Chong going for the 3-bet with the Ace King O. He goes for 2.7x in position. So interesting sizing. Nice and small. Maybe just trying to induce that shorter stack to do something crazy. I think I'll probably, 16 big blinds. I'm probably raise folding A7 suited. Yeah. Jin does the same.
So Richard, I have an answer. So if I'm playing $5, $10 game, and I play 10,000 hands, and every 100 hands I'm winning 8 big blinds, I'm probably making 800 big blind by the end of the month, which basically equates to $8,000, right? But if I basically change my stakes from 510 to 50, 100, then I'm making $80,000 a month.
Wow.
Do you see how significant that difference is? Now people might ask, that hey, you're risking too much as well. Like you're risking more money now compared to others. No, I'm not. I'm following my bankroll, right? If I'm following my bankroll, and then obviously I'm increasing my skill day by day, and making sure that I stay up to the mark. Let's say even my return on investment goes half when I move up the stakes, right? So right now I'm making 4 big blinds where I was making 8 big blinds earlier, right? Then also I'll have $40,000 a month. So it really, that is why you make more money as you go up and play high stakes. Because people have, like the VIP players. The game doesn't change. The game even gets better because now you have businessmen people, you have like VIP players who likes to see flops. And when you like to see flops, you basically let your opponent lose more money than they should.
Okay, so do you find yourself playing a little bit tighter versus those sort of players?
No, I play my I play my own game. Like I probably play more wider, not even tighter, because my opponent is defending what they are supposed to, right? So we are going to be going post flop with wider ranges, but he'll definitely have more wider range than me.
Okay, got you.
So yeah. So even my win rate takes a hit of 50%. I still make $40,000 if I can play 10,000 hands a month. So, which I think is doable, right? I don't think you can't play 10,000 hands.
No, definitely
a month. You can. Yeah, you can, right?
It's like 2,500 hands a week.
Yeah, especially when you're playing like online where you can play 4 tables, you can easily make that kind of leap. So
easy, yeah. You just got to grind, just 5 days a week.
Yeah. Plus, there's rake back deals and so many other things. So, for instance, I'll tell you, like people complain a lot about rake and everything, right? But like the top pros that I've spoken to, they would basically, and in cash game the strategy is that you don't call much. You 3-bet because of how high the rake is. But when you play high stakes, the rake doesn't, like, rake is still there, but it's not that significant because it gets capped at certain point, right? So when it gets capped, you would want your opponent, especially the VPIPs, the recreational players on your table, to get involved to see more flops. So what would happen is that you will flop stronger than them. Like they might still have top pair with a weaker kicker. You'll always have a stronger range. So they will probably end up losing more money than they should, and that is how you just print money in cash games.
哥哥，我
You have to be really, really smart about it.
太紧了我。啊。
Cash games, post flop, I would probably say it's a lot more to do with strategy, but not pre flop. Whereas tournament is totally opposite.
And are you playing on normal, mainstream sites, or are you playing on, some other?
I'm playing on Indian sites. Playing on Indian sites, yeah.
Okay.
Just main Indian sites, yeah. Because for me right now in India, it doesn't make sense to play on international sites because there's like high rake, competition is tough, and in poker, basically the number one rule, the best rule is that you play in the games when the games are soft and not when actually the games are difficult.
Right. Oh, so you got a good player pool in India at the moment, you think?
Yes.
Great.
I mean,
well,
it's good money,
all
man.
in here. All in one sec. Actually, we'll get back to that. But it will be a quick-lived one because it's all in, and Chen looks down at the 10-4-0. I don't imagine he makes this call high frequency. So can anybody join the Indian side, or do you have to be an Indian national?
You basically have to live in India for some time, and you have to be like having certain documents.
Got you.
But like imagine, even after paying 30% tax, the games are profitable here.
Yeah,
So,
they sound good.
and even after like tough competition, you know how Indians have been crushing the Asian stops, even after all those players. But like in their defense, like in Indian player defense, I would probably say all the players that you see who travel to like Asian stops are like literally the 1% or 2% of the field, which is like the top 2% of the Indian player pool.
他要给你30秒压力。
So yeah, like that's how it is. So there's 98% of the player pool who doesn't travel, and that's why you see most of the Indian contingent crush, because like literally they're playing every day with each other and just becoming better version of themselves.
Right. Well, I mean, it's all about that, It's literally like the saying says, practice makes perfect. And I can feel like when I'm doing commentary, when I'm busy playing, after commentary, I'm like full in the swing of things, and then take a week off and I get back to the tables and I feel slow, and it takes me a couple of hands to get back into it. So it's like, it's all about repetition.
Well, I believe right now poker would be your third love. The first love would be the missus, the second would be the gym, and third would be poker. All right. So you probably have to, if you want to get into the habit of doing the repetition, you probably have to interchange your gym and your poker love. Like you probably have to put poker first and then gym on the other end. Like you have to do both. I'm not saying like don't do both, but both, like poker has to become a priority. As we see a 3-bet coming in from the small blind with King 7 suited. Really nice hand to 3-bet with, and Lee just not in a good position to defend Queen 9 suited, especially when he's playing such a short stack. It's interesting that, even versus short stack, these players are relentless. They want to just put maximum pressure on them, even with the hands like King 7 suited.
Yeah, I think these guys just, getting a little bit itchy at this stage. It's been a very slow start at the feature table.
When you talk about slow start for them, we've lost 5 players already, and we haven't even touched our first break.
I think we've only lost one player from the feature, right?
Yeah. Well, no coolers, and all of them have been playing very nicely till now.
Yeah, absolutely. So funny, talking about playing, all I want to do is play right now. But I feel like I get that with a lot of sports, even when I'm not doing commentary and I'm just watching sports for recreational purposes, I always want to physically get on the field and start playing.
It's like the human psychology that, hey, I can do better, or I can play better, and that kind of makes
Yeah.
the urge of us making us want to sit on a poker table or play any sports that you're watching. Like for example, if you're watching a football game, right? You're like, oh no, I could have run faster than him, or I could have defended that goal, things like that. It's like the common human psychology.
100%.
Like if you see me on the future table in the future, like why Ash is there? Like I can be there and I can be better than him. So things like that, and vice versa. Like if I see you there, like I would probably think the same. Yeah.
That's funny.
Like probably see if I shift to Thailand next year, will probably see me playing more of the live events, because then
Oh, nice.
every other country, it just becomes more reachable to me. And
Yeah,
then
for
it
sure.
might happen that you're doing a commentary for me, like on me, and I really hope you have some kind words, because I'm definitely gonna go back
Come.
home and watch the whole commentary and see what you got to
Word
say
for
about
word.
me. Just don't forget, I'm very generous. I don't forget all my all my side bits.
Side bit.
There's a reason I'm losing them in advance.
That's funny.
I'm paying up in advance.
Funny.
So yeah.
呀，那被我生生抢的那妈的。嗯。
给他们上强度了，上强度不行了。
Chen picking up some premiums early on here. It's helping him a lot. He's amassed a great stack there, you can see. 58 big blinds. He is the chip leader all of a sudden, overtaken Mr. Joe Chong, who follows closely behind with 56 bigs. And then the rest of the stacks at the table are definitely not too impressive, actually. A lot of short stacks here all of a sudden.
So generally, that is the trend. As we try to reach closer to the start, these sides do get shallow, and you might see a lot of gens in different, as we have said, the blinds keep on increasing and players get tight. They are basically working in opposite directions. Alrighty, Mr. Dom's gonna raise this up with Queen Jack of Diamonds from under the gun, playing almost 1 million stack, 20 big blinds. And we see a player move all in from the button with ace 8 off. Very ambitious, but this might work out. Jay just asking for a count before he looks down his cards so that he doesn't give anything away as he looks down his cards right now. And he's going to probably make this fold with King 3 off, playing 1.2 million.
What do you think of that ace 8-0 jam?
Very optimistic, very ambitious, but it's gonna work out this time. So yeah, very ambitious.
Yeah, I think open jam I understand, but not versus an open. Traditional DTG.
开的够宽的，
不宽开的，开的肯定不宽，勾拳 S 可以开。
好像不是打常规桌吧？
常规桌，
常规桌可以，
常规桌可以开。
真不是常规桌都给我4逼了。
你让我看接着。
准备我在泡点呢。
啊，到点儿啊，马上要下桌了。
打一个盲推，等会儿来讲会儿好。
对对对。
你我也在想，
其实他给他也好个事儿。
我20滴直接喷他，少打我。
哪有那么多把？
那被教育了。
你看这都给我推了。
人家最起码 A 圈家人，这还不推你吗？
那对，
最差 A 归 S。
So ace queen for Chen from under the gun. He's playing 3 million, 2.9. And I believe we are going on a break here after this hand, Richard. And we'll have a new feature table when we come back.
Oh wow, seems quite early for a break, but maybe. But yeah, it seems like you're alright. I'll prep for a break, but before the break, some fireworks here actually. Ace King moving all in from the small blind, and yeah, Chen will snap that off with the Ace Queen O. Zhou looking for a full double up here.
这边 all in 这边，这可以把你这样吧。
Ace Queen O versus the Ace King. Ace King all in and at risk. Just needs to hold one time. And just like that, King on the flop, all but shuts it down. Check mark with that 9. Thank you very much, Mr. Chen. Full double up for Zhou on the break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the last qualifying day for the Red Dragon Championship event. Today we will have the days 1C and 1D. Users, shuffle up and begin to deal please.
Okay, let's go.
Congratulations to all the players that have qualified in today too. Best of luck to everybody. See you guys tomorrow.
I live in Australia. I've been playing poker professionally for about 4 or 5 years. The first major result that I had was 4th place in the Millionaire Maker 2 years ago in Vegas. That was my biggest ever score. I just heard from friends about the Jade Poker Festival, so I thought I'd come and try out the tournaments there. And then up until this one, I wasn't doing so well, but finally got some luck with the cards. So yeah, nice to win. First Red Dragon event. It's a pretty big buy-in for me, but first Red Dragon event, yeah. It's obviously a very cool jacket. I like the design. Yeah, winning the trophy, I didn't expect it at all. When there was 5 people left, I was the shortest in chips by far. So I was very, very lucky to win, obviously. Very, very lucky. I think it's just different types of players because I'm used to playing in other countries like Vietnam or like Cambodia or Malaysia where the players are slightly different. So here the players, they play a bit differently and you have to sort of adjust to how they play. I think I was able to do it a little bit. Obviously I got very lucky with the cards. It's been very fun to play here. I think the high roller package is really nice. They were able to sort of give me a good deal with the packages, and so I thought that was really cool because it was my first time attending RDPT. So that was nice. Seems to be very well organised in terms of the floor do a very good job. Everything seems to be run really smoothly, so I think that was really good. Yeah!
Attention dealers in the Red Dragon Championship Day 1A, begin to deal, please. last qualifying day for the Red Dragon Championship event. Today we will have the days 1C and 1D. Users, shuffle up and begin to deal, please.
Okay, let's go.
Congratulations to all the players that have qualified in today too. Best of luck to everybody. See you guys tomorrow.
I live in Australia. I've been playing poker professionally for about 4 or 5 years. The first major result that I had was 4th place in the Millionaire Maker 2 years ago in Vegas. That was my biggest ever score. I just heard from friends about the Jadewell Poker Festival, so I thought I'd come and try out the tournaments there. And then up until this one, I wasn't doing so well, but finally got some luck with the cards. So yeah, nice to win. First Red Dragon event. It's a pretty big buy-in for me, but first Red Dragon event, yeah. It's obviously a very cool jacket. I like the design. Yeah, winning the trophy, I didn't expect it at all. When there was 5 people left, I was the shortest in chips by far. So I was very, very lucky to win, obviously. Very, very lucky. I think it's just different types of players because I'm used to playing in other countries like Vietnam or like Cambodia or Malaysia where the players are slightly different. So here the players, they play a bit differently and you have to sort of adjust to how they play. I think I was able to do it a little bit. Obviously I got very lucky with the cards. It's been very fun to play here. I think the high roller package is really nice. They were able to sort of give me a good deal with the packages, and so I thought that was really cool because it was my first time attending RDPT. So that was nice. Seems to be very well organised in terms of the floor do a very good job. Everything seems to run really smoothly, so I think that was really good.
Yeah!
Attention dealers in the Red Dragon Championship Day 1A, begin to deal, please. the last qualifying day for the Red Dragon Championship event. Today we will have the days 1C and 1D. Leaders, shuffle up and begin to deal, please.
Okay, let's go.
Congratulations to all the players that have qualified in today too. Best of luck to everybody. See you guys tomorrow.
I live in Australia. I've been playing poker professionally for about 4 or 5 years. The first major result that I had was 4th place in the Millionaire Maker 2 years ago in Vegas. That was my biggest ever score. I just heard from friends about the Jadewood Poker Festival, so I thought I'd come and try out the tournaments there. And then up until this one, I wasn't doing so well, but finally got some luck with the cards. So yeah, nice to win. First Red Dragon event. It's a pretty big buy-in for me, but first Red Dragon event, yeah. It's obviously a very cool jacket. I like the design. Yeah, winning the trophy, I didn't expect it at all. When there was 5 people left, I was the shortest in chips by far. So I was very lucky to win, obviously. Very lucky. I think it's just different types of players because I'm used to playing in other countries like Vietnam or like Cambodia or Malaysia where the players are slightly different. So here the players, they play a bit differently and you have to sort of adjust to how they play. I think I was able to do it a little bit. Obviously I got very lucky with the cards. It's been very fun to play here. I think the high roller package is really nice. They were able to sort of give me a good deal with the packages, and so I thought that was really cool because it was my first time attending RDPT. So that was nice. Seems to be very well organised in terms of the floor do a very good job. Everything seems to be run really smoothly, so I think that was really good.
Yeah!
Attention dealers in the Red Dragon Championship Day 1A, begin to deal, please.
Alright folks, we're back from the break and we have an all-in and hopefully a call with Ace Queen here. This is your commentator Akshay Kapoor, and joining me in the booth is Richard Cooper, as we see an all-in here by Mr. Lee with King 10 of Spades from hijack.
是595吗？
Push JR with the Ace Queen. Makes the call.
Yeah, straight into some action, Akshay. Mr. Lee shoving the King 10 suited. His last 10 big blinds from the hijack, and unfortunately for him, he gets a pretty quick call by Mr. G. And now the big stack. Mr. Chen looking to dance with the devil. Pocket sixes.
火爆！我要火爆！我操！
我操！太基本的。
Wow, Akshay, talk about death on the flop.
配置是你的 lucky card 吗？
不是啊，我吃个
Tempted
BB
to
配置出去
seize
还
the
不对啊
short？ stack, Mr. Lee with a full
你
double
感觉
up,
呢？
courtesy
救你了，
of
我变成
G's
救你
ace
了，
queen. King 10 pulling through
我变
there.
成救你了。
Lee up to 22 bigs, G down to 9.3 bigs. The quick switcheroo for you there. Just like that, and just that quickly
这他
is how it can change here, folks. If you are just joining us, 30k and 60k are the blinds, with the 60k ante active on the
没
big
有落
blind
后
each
救一
round.
次，妈落
This
你前
is
面落
day
后救一
3.
次。
19 players left. We're playing down to the final table.
你别跟我搞
We'll
新牌。
busto one player,
领先肯定
and
是
then
火
we'll
爆。
bag and tag and come back tomorrow with the final 8. Playing down to that champion will walk away with a cool 174,000 USD.
Well, the action is probably going to get folded to the button. Let's see if the button wakes up with anything. 6-4 of hearts for him, playing almost 15 big blinds, close to 15, I would say. The blinds have increased. The blinds are now 30,000, 60,000 with a big blind ante of 60,000. Jack 9 off for Shen, 2.1 million for him. We did see him get lucky earlier in the day when he shoved King 9, was called by King Jack, and he flopped a 9 to secure that double up. And now we go post flop, heads up, Jack 9 versus 10-7. 10-7 picking up the flush draw, while Jack 9 in the lead with just Jack high. Shen is going to check his option, and that might open the doors for Jae Chong to bet on this flop. He does go for a bet of 60,000, 30% of the pot, and Shen probably can't go anywhere right now. He can go for a check raise, can go for a call, and this does seem like a raise to me. It is actually a raise. 150,000 for him. Going for a check raise with Jack 9, Jack of diamonds, and Jae Chong not going anywhere with his flush draw. He does have a straight backdoor straight draw to go along with his flush draw. And turn is a 6. Doesn't change anything, but it does increases. It gives Chong 11 outs now to improve. Shen taking the aggressive route on the flop, going for that check raise with Jack 9, blocking the flush card and a straight card. And 6 doesn't change much. So if you were repping an 8, you would continue to bet here. And if you check, what are you trying to say? Are you saying you had a flush draw, or you had a deuce? You just wanted to see where you were by betting or by check raising? Well, Chong is not one to get scared of the check raises as he continues to bet 150k onto the turn. Let's see what Shen decides to do here with Jack 9. Well, he doesn't have much going for him. Gonna fold. Nice hand for Jae Chong, getting some chips back from his neighbor. Down to 19, yes, guys. Playing 7-handed. There should be 3 tables now, 6, 6, and 7. And the plan for today is to play till we find a final 8. Scared his neighbor. that took him by surprise.
不好意思，吓到你们。
Chen with king 3 off on the button. Playing more than 30 big blinds. But he does have a fierce competitor on his right in the name of Jae Chong, who has a bigger stack than him. But that is not going to scare Mr. Chen as he continues to put pressure and raises with king 3 off from the button. A raise and a take it for him. Shen really flexing his muscles after that double up.
要倒了，往前面倒。
一直背得上来啊。 必须得上来。
A nice, beautiful hand for Mr. J.I. with King Jack of clubs.
And maybe just waiting for that potential money jump.
This. This.
咱也到了。
别动了，
He spent so long stacking it. Doesn't want to shove it all in.
这个太危险了，这。
55啊。
And just left himself 5k behind.
Keep count. Keep count. 啊。OK OK。OK。 不，我给你挡点儿，拿个棒法。
还呢？
没了，没了，这不熬夜了吗？
还没熬夜。
啊，这
还有。
就一次。就一次。
We have an all-in call here, Richard. King Jack suited versus pocket eights.
You think one time in Mandarin or Cantonese is Joey Che?
55万呀。
Maybe.
That's what he's shouting for.
Put him 510, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Put 40 more in.
40 more.
那该要稳了。不的。就一次。
Start. It's not only? No, not only. Okay.
哎，
就一次。
我操！
就一次。
就一次。
你这是领先了，不能喊就一次了。
我已经出来了，可以了。哇，挖不用了，无极用它。
That one time has definitely come in, Richard.
我就这比难，还能哪能
Absolutely nice double up there for the short stack.
那当办法噻。我马上更忙了，就是。
是拆桌呀，还是
换马吧？
他帮我码身上码。
太多了。
拆桌了？8个人，还有2个人了。
16个人。
说6个人，
不是3、6、18人嘛？把你拆下去。
拆下去，拆个大王。
我操，你不推也拆了？啊，你不推也拆了？
对呀，
推也拆。OK。
加油啊！不要慢走。
那个，正常去的地方做，那是不好报的，因为我也是老开会的情况。
对，我没得，要报，我那个一报马做马做啊，就这比例。
对呀，那各种情况是可以推的。
对不啦？
我去弄了就不好推了，推就是嘛对吧？
加油啊！
我现在报应了。
报死嘛就报死嘛呗，我该报要报呀，我还报涨。
Well, here we go. Some action brewing Indeed. Hijack Chen opening the Ace King O, and he's going to find the pocket tens of Lee in the small blind. Let's see how Lee approaches this one, what sizing he uses. Playing a stack of 1.2 million.
Oi.
Alright, Richard, we're all in a call. Tens versus Ace King. Ace King looking for that Ace or King on the river. That's not gonna come. And Shen's gonna be really, really short stack after that hand. As pocket tens secure a double up, a massive double up for him, giving him 2.6 million now. 43 big blinds to play.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the Ace King of Chen. Tens holding strong, and the Ace King taking a massive knock to his stack. Eighteen players remaining. We're only 9 away from the final table.
我跑赢2把。
2 away from a final 2-table redraw, I believe.
That's a quick all in here, Richard. That's been announced. Ace Deuce from under the gun. Fairly so, like he's playing 5 big blinds and he's supposed like he would be the next big blind, so he'll probably lose 2 big blinds. So a quick jam by any ace X there. So far so good for him. Will be folded to the big blind, and he wakes up with Queen Jack, who is also very short, but I think he's gonna make this call. He's playing 600k, like 10 big blinds himself. The jam is for 5. He just probably takes the gamble here. Queen Jack off. I mean, should be strong enough to call a 5 big blind jam. 1 chip call. And Queen Jack versus Ace Deuce we go. This is 40% versus 60%. Ace Deuce right now in the lead, but Queen Jack not that behind with 39% equity. A very important flop coming for Mr. Shen. And it is 8-4 deuce, giving bottom pair for Shen. And Ace on the turn is gonna seal the deal. Shen is back in the game with 720k. There we go. From 5 big blinds, he actually goes to 12 big blinds now.
Yep.
Oh,
Never out until you're out.
Yeah, just interchanges positions with his neighbor, the player in the black jacket. Now down to 5.7 bigs.
And I think I figured out what's on his hoodie. I think Albert Einstein is rolling up some magical herbs, is what it is.
Maybe that was the secret behind Einstein's discoveries. You know, you never find you may never find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, KK for Mr. Lee. King. Playing 2.6 million. Recently doubled up with his pocket tens. Now looking at another premium. Goes for a call. A sneaky call there, Richard. Trapping with the pocket kings. This is two big stacks on this table. Chong versus Lee. I would have loved to see a 3-bet mag. Like, you probably would be, you know, playing very less versus the chip leader, and when you do, you'll probably want to, you know, play a bait, you know, like a constructive ranges. Whereas if you just call, Chong just comes along with a wider range, and you will never be sure of where you stand in the board. Kings, although a very good hand, a very solid hand, and you know, playing in position can never be too bad. But Shen's gonna join the party. So this is 10-9, Queen Jack, and Pocket Kings going multi-way to the flop. Shen and Joseph really blocking each other straight outs. Alrighty. Very, very safe flop for Pocket Kings. Deuce, 4, 5. $540. Probably want to go smaller here. 120, 100, 80. 200 is the bet and gets a quick call. Oh no, doesn't get a quick call. Joseph just putting his big blind in advance. Gets a fold from both the players. Interesting to see the flat there with the big blind with 10-9 off, facing an open and a call, playing very short stack, 12 big blinds. I would have loved to see just a fold there with 10-9. You're probably not doing really well versus two ranges. Even when, you know, the second stack on the table calls the number one stack on the table. But it's alright. You only lose one extra big blind.
Well, Chen deep in the tank now, blind v blind with the chip leader.
Table.
就飞了，3把币推
水尾巴也得整水尾巴，这把实在
我跑牌考你啊
，5点，他妈推个毛，又5点。
其实尾巴不是3嘛，你自己算错了，这怎么能算错呢？
前面到那儿不是3码，到他大码，你小盲，他大码是3码，那个时候就太高了。
38万。
Well, these players are really after each other. 3 betting hands like Jack 9 off from the big blind versus button opens. Something that we didn't see coming here, Richard. Queen Jack for Mr. Kang, opening on the button, playing 1.1 million, almost 20 big blinds for him. Playing very, very carefully, very cautiously. Understanding the pressure he's on this last 3 tables. We are playing 6-handed, 3 tables of 6. And I believe we are going to be playing the final 2 tables when we reach 16 players. This tournament is actually 8-handed. Well, those are the glimpses of the famous, the talented Mr. Jay Chong, wearing the white hoodie, representing the Phenom Team Pro Bratch, and really here to dominate all these players. Till now he hasn't put any wrong steps. Richard was telling us that he was on a blink of getting eliminated from this tournament, and now he's sitting there with a very comfortable stack, almost the chip leader.
Exactly that, Akshay. And as they say, all it takes is a big blind, a chip, and a chair. So that just shows you never out until you're out. So Mr. Gao, having to think about it. Ace 8 suited, cut off. This is UTG though, that's the only thing. Not liking the opening position and not liking the limp off of a short stack. That's probably the most alarming. He's just going to call as well, actually. I like it. He's obviously quite scared of that limp from the early position.
I mean, he's playing like almost 500k, so like he's playing like 7, 8 bigs, and then when you see like a 7 or 8 big blind limp, most of the time that's gonna be like the monster hands as we see it here, pocket kings for him. Although Kang playing very smart since the start of the day. He's not just taking any unnecessarily risk. He's understanding that Shen, when he limps from under the gun, is going to be super, super strong. Shen flops top set. Just nothing, just top set, you know.
The nuts.
Yeah, turn is a deuce. Yeah.
Still has the nuts.
Check one more time, maybe. Or like do like a 2 big blind bet. 120 or check. Anything else was just too big.
我靠！
Like just look at his hand. I told you so, right?
但是我中位了，中位也就
AKK 呗。
Alrighty, these are the updated chip counts. Jay Chong has shifted to second in chips now, playing 2.9. We do have a new chip leader on our feature table. There's a quick dealer change.
我也无所谓，他退不出来，不会就看不出来。
补其实还可以，其实
我这
他不会 open 的，他不会推的。
中花了，我中了2分，
但是其实翻牌前其实是有赔率的，肯定任何牌都有赔率。他不会推的，他也不傻，他刚才说的，对啊，他不会推。我都读的 AA 推什么呀？对，就是。
我说你这个 AA 慢哪也真慢。
都这么说了，都。
一定要让我集中点。他这牌一定要让我击中，
然后搞你，
然后带走。
对，带走。
不击中没东西。
This Holmes is out playing 1.4 million, goes for 125. Looking to get some action. Bring it off. See a flop. Queen 7-4, 2 diamonds and a spade. So with no diamond in his hand, but he does have an overpair, and that might just seal the deal. Jay Chong just making that quick fold, and Zhao showing off. Look, I have aces. The pocket rockets.
Well, Joe Chong, of course, as one would think, having had the big stack for most of the time here at the feature, has got the most significant pre-flop raise percentage of 35%, so opening very much according to schedule.
那也没办法，你不让我入10%了，没办法不让我入10%了。你没打那赏金，赏金你没打，我凉了。
There we go. Chong making quick call with ace king. Might have actually raised a little bit here with ace king facing an all in. Yeah, 300k.
对啊
So
我觉得不会隔离
this is the same situation that we were discussing earlier before, Richard.
隔离好
Pocket pair versus ace king. 52 versus 48, as you mentioned earlier.
应该靠吧
Fives in the lead, and I hope your friend is watching the stream, so he understands that pocket fives is actually the favorite
就是
versus
我
ace
们说点
king.
俚语才能
Onto the flop we go, but this is ace deuce 4 3 clubs.
对我配
Only a 3 of clubs is going to help the fives as we see him getting out of this tournament. Well, down to 17 players now, Richard. One away from the redraw. And Chong, I believe, takes the chip lead again. Sits in very, very comfortable stack away from the second chip, so it's really good for him.
哎
As the second in chips does have position on him,
16分钟
so he can be a little bit tricky to play. But Chong's like very, very experienced, and he's been in this spot so many times that he knows how to navigate these fields this deep and put ICM pressure on to his opponents.
好，还有草花吃，
差一点是吧
会的不是劝也棍儿了，操！
And what is the purpose of burning a card, actually? Is that for cheating?
What do you mean burning a card?
Like before you deal the turn, the dealer burns a card and then deals the turn.
Oh, I think I'm not really sure about it. I think it's just the rule of the game. Like, you know, when you play certain rules, there's that rule, or you got to do this. For example, players get 2 cards, right? That's just a rule because we're playing two card game. So probably I'm not really sure on that information, but it's more likely to do with, you know, just how the rules were developed during the game.
So do the dealers
Not
burn
really
before
sure.
they dish the flop as well, traditionally?
They've always been doing that. Like they'll always be burning the first card, and then they put the 3 cards, and they burn another one. Then they deal the turn card, and they do the same for the river. Or we can maybe ask ChatGPT, why do dealers burn the card before they deal the flop? I'll get back to that with that information. Alrighty, it is. You were probably 90% right. It is to maintain the integrity of the game and prevent cheating or card marking.
Got you.
So basically, the top card could be seen by the players when the cards are being distributed. There could be cards that are marked, like the cards can be marked on top part of it, so players can see what card is it, and if they don't use that information for themselves, they can probably try to signal it to the other players. And also, I was also right. The practice has become a standard rule in poker, especially in casinos and professional settings. So it's been a game tradition and consistency. And it does also prevents the deck imperfection from being exploited. These are the 4 reasons.
Got you.
So yeah, we both were right.
17 players remain, one away from the final two-table redraw. And then if you are just joining us, as we've said, we are playing down to the final 8 today, at which stage we will bag and tag and come back tomorrow, where we play down to the champion. So not too many to go now. They've been dropping quite quickly. Everybody locked up some good prize money. A nice chunk of that 1.2 billion guaranteed in this prize pool by the RDPT Association.
So he's going to open his button with ace 10 off.
他说停，不是，他说停。
All right, down to 16 players now, so maybe a redraw.
Yeah, he needs to hold up. He needs to hold up. I'm gonna do the redraw.
redraw 是重新抽桌是吧？
对，3桌重新
变成2桌嘛。上厕所还可以吗？得很久了吧？
不用很久，他就
上厕所。
What is Chen actually complaining about?
Not sure. Maybe the dealer not dealing the cards. He wants to play. He came here to play. The dealer is not allowing him to do that.
Welcome to the last qualifying day for the Red Dragon Championship event. Today we will have the days 1C and 1D. Users, shuffle up and begin to deal, please.
Okay, let's go.
Congratulations to all the players that have qualified in today too. Best of luck to everybody. See you guys tomorrow.
I live in Australia. I've been playing poker professionally for about 4 or 5 years. The first major result that I had was 4th place in the Millionaire Maker 2 years ago in Vegas. That was my biggest ever score. I just heard from friends about the Jeju Poker Festival, so I thought I'd come and try out the tournaments there. And then up until this one, I wasn't doing so well, but finally got some luck with the cards. So yeah, nice to win. First Red Dragon event. It's a pretty big buy-in for me, but first Red Dragon event, yeah. It's obviously a very cool jacket. I like the design. Yeah, winning the trophy, I didn't expect it at all. When there was 5 people left, I was the shortest in chips by far. So I was very, very lucky to win, obviously. Very, very lucky. I think it's just different types of players because I'm used to playing in other countries like Vietnam or like Cambodia or Malaysia where the players are slightly different. So here the players, they play a bit differently and you have to sort of adjust to how they play. I think I was able to do it a little bit. Obviously I got very lucky with the cards. It's been very fun to play here. I think the high roller package is really nice. They were able to sort of give me a good deal with the packages, and so I thought that was really cool because it was my first time attending RDPT. So that was nice. Seems to be very well organised in terms of you know, the floor do a very good job. Everything seems to be run really smoothly, so I think that was really good.
Attention dealers in the Red Dragon Championship Day 1A, begin to deal, please. Welcome to the last qualifying day for the Red Dragon Championship event. Today we will have days 1C and 1D. Leaders, shuffle up and begin to deal, please.
Okay, let's go.
Congratulations to all the players that have qualified in today too. Best of luck to everybody. See you guys tomorrow.
I live in Australia. I've been playing poker professionally for about 4 or 5 years. The first major result that I had was 4th place in the Millionaire Maker 2 years ago in Vegas. That was my biggest ever score. I just heard from friends about the Jaipur Poker Festival, so I thought I'd come and try out the tournaments there. And then up until this one, I wasn't doing so well, but finally got some luck with the cards. So yeah, nice to win. First Red Dragon event. It's a pretty big buy-in for me, but first Red Dragon event, yeah. It's obviously a very cool jacket. I like the design. Yeah, winning the trophy, I didn't expect it at all. When there was 5 people left, I was the shortest in chips by far. So I was very lucky to win, obviously. Very lucky. I think it's just different types of players because I'm used to playing in other countries like Vietnam or like Cambodia or Malaysia where the players are slightly different. So here the players, they play a bit differently and you have to sort of adjust to how they play. I think I was able to do it a little bit. Obviously I got very lucky with the cards. It's been very fun to play here. I think the high roller package is really nice. They were able to sort of give me a good deal with the packages, and so I thought that was really cool because it was my first time attending RDPT. So that was nice. Seems to be very well organised in terms of the floor do a very good job. Everything seems to be run really smoothly, so I think that was really good. Yeah!
Attention dealers in the Red Dragon Championship Day 1A, begin to deal, please.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks. Final 16, final 2 table time. It's all come down to this moment. Mr. Gao not wasting any time. Early position, pocket sevens, good enough to request the triangle and move all in. New face at the feature table in the hijack, just gonna come along, make that call, rejam the ace king suited.